Hey guys, part 2 of Dark Visions number 6 has opened up, so we're going to be going ahead and doing them. We're going to start with the physical fights because, as usual, physical is a lot easier, just because of Tifa. So we've got Dark Anima. This is the team I have built. So the basics on Dark Anima is it's an undead enemy, weak to physical, ice, and dark element. We're going to be going with the ice element for this team. The boss does fire and holy element or light element damage. No status effects. He does a damage over time and a non-elemental physical AoE as well. I don't actually know when he does those. I just know he does them. I'm going to assume he doesn't do it until later. And we're kind of going for a turn 2 clear with this team. So we're going to be doing Lauren. Just, FYI, I went ahead and bought her bundle, so I do have her shift form. So her base form isn't really too important. We've just got, for the entire team, on the form that's going to be active on the first turn, we're going for 100% fire resist from gear. I couldn't really fit fire resist buffing with my team because I'm going for a turn 2 clear, so actions are really tight, and I just couldn't fit a fire resist buff. So I'm gearing everyone for fire immunity, and we're going to use a 70% light resist buff. So the whole team is geared for 100 fire resist and 70% light resist. Now if you're using, other buffers or whatever, you want to reach 100% after a buff. So Lauren, her shift form, she's going to break on turn 1, and then on turn 2, she's going to shift into her DPS form. Now she's one of those units that is technically a dual wield unit, but if you have the gear to make her a double hand unit, it's more damage because she does not have the dual wield chain cap. So for this, because she has natural undead killer, I was able to gear her for a gun, and she can do double hand damage with a gun, and she'll be a chainer on turn 2 with undead killer. Red is going to be our undead killer buffer. That's pretty much all he's doing. He's also going to give us the 300% attack buff that we're going to steal, and he's going to chain. He's a Stardust Ray chainer that chains with our Lauren, and he's got 100 fire and 30 light resist. Tifa, base form, I'm going to immediately shift. We're giving her the Call of the Wild in the base form. That gives her 8 LB crystals instantly at the start of the battle. And then shift form is using the Great Sword card, Undead Killer, LB damage, the usual, just Tifa things, and 100 fire resist and 30 light resist. Mastermind Zahn, I don't really got to talk about him. He's the usual. I geared him for damage just so he can chip in like an extra 0.1% damage to the clear, so why not? He's the evasion provoker with the necessary resistances. Pyroglacial Lastwell is just going to be an AT chainer, or an Absolute Mirror of Equity chainer. We stuck him on Alexander, who gives us Divine Castle's protection, and he's our turn 1 70% Holy Resist buffer. Other than that, he is geared for Undead Killer chaining. He's going to chain Absolute Mirror of Equity with our Zahn on turn 2. And then Yoshikiri is going to be a buffer on turn 1. He's going to give us a big stat buff and a double Mirage, just in case the boss does the physical non-elemental attacks on turn 1. I don't know if he does or doesn't. We geared him for resist. He's not going to chain or anything. We're naked base form. We're not going to use the shift form. Oh, we are actually going to use the shift form. Yeah, he's going to be our ice imbuer. And now that I realize I was supposed to gear the shift form as ice resist. Whoops, this will take 1 second. My bad. My bad. I totally forgot that we're shifting on turn 1. I geared that improperly. Okay, shift form now has enough resistance. Okay, there we go. We're good, we're good, we're good. Let's go. Yeah, this is live TV. Mistakes happen. It's fine. Alright. So, we're doing ice. We're shifting Yoshi on turn 1. We're going to do, let's see. Lastwell is going to do the Holy Resist buff. Red is going to do triple. We're going to do Overhaul. That's a limit fill buff for the party, which we kind of want. Killer Rave and Lunatic Burst, because I think we need like 1 crystal on Tifa from drops. Let's see. Lauren is gonna do Blade of Devotion. That's gonna power her up for next turn. We're doing Peerless Blade Shield Crusher. That's gonna break the boss, and Unhesitating Will. Although, actually, this boss doesn't break. That was in case the boss did break, but it turns out he doesn't. So that's kind of irrelevant, but whatever. Alright, we're going to go ahead and shift. We already shifted him. We're going to do Ninpu Bunshin for the Mirage and Stat buff. And we're going to do Ice Scroll to imbue our team with ice. And Tifa's already got her LB ready to go. Look at that. Beautiful. We're going to go ahead and just Magnus. We don't want to do the water buff. Let's see. So Zahn. Zahn, we need to triple. We're going to steal the... We don't need to steal the imbue. Yoshi's imbue is AoE. We need to steal the Killers and attack buff from Red. And that's pretty much it. I guess we'll steal the break immunity from Lauren. But again, that's actually not relevant. I planned this team before looking up at I assumed he would break our team, but he doesn't actually. Okay, so we've got some dark and some ice attacks. Okay, good to go. Tifa's going to cap. Red's going to triple. We're going to... Doesn't really matter which one. These are the same modifier. Lauren is going to shift into her DPS form. Take off the armor. We're going to twin blade dance 3 times. Zahn is going to triple Absolute Mirror of Equity with our Lastwell. And Lastwell is going to triple chain. Yoshi cannot contribute this fight, so he'll just stand there. And cap Tifa. And we'll see if we got a perfect score on Anima. 2.147. Okay, we perfect scored Anima. Yeah, I was kind of confident on him that we'd perfect score him. I think we're going to perfect score Ashura, the final boss that comes out on Monday as well, because Tifa. I'm not so confident in Diablos, who's coming up next. So, yeah. So we perfect scored him. Apparently so did a lot of other people. Yeah, I mean, Tifa just breaks the game. She really does. So now we're going to Diablo. So let me go ahead and cut the video here while I adjust the team a little bit, and we'll see you in a second. Alright guys, next up is Diablos. This is the one I believe is going to be the big separator for this Dark Visions. I don't have Kuja, I don't have Aerith, so we're going to really hope that Elena can carry this fight. Let's find out. So, some tips on Diablos. He is a demon weak to magical fire or light. We're going to go with the light team because Elena. The boss does ice and dark damage, so you want to get immunity to that. He also does single target death. Our provoker is going to be death immune. And he does AoE blind. Now, I don't know when he does all these attacks. Again, and he does imperil at some point as well. I'm going for a turn 3 clear this time, so I just really have fingers crossed that he doesn't imperil until the end of turn 2. That's the hope, that's the plan. We're going to see. Here's the team we're going to use. This time, Lauren is not going to change. She's going to be just a breaker, buffer, etc. She's going to be doing Dark Resist on turn 1. I put her on Anima, who gives us Enshrouded by Darkness. That's going to be our 70% Dark Resist buff. And the entire team is at least 30% to Dark. And we're using a 120% Ice Resist buff from Yoshi Kiryu. So as long as we're at -20 or higher Ice Resist, we're good. And then because everyone is not blind immune, we're going to be using Jade Pendant. This is an old event item. To give blind immunity, it's only for Rem. If you don't have this item, you could just give, if you're doing the exact same team, you could give Rem blind immunity. But Lauren has a free turn on turn 2, so she's going to just use that to give us immunity to blind. Shift form, irrelevant, we're not really using it, so, you know, whatever. Rem is going to be a chainer. We're going to imbue her with Holy. She's going to cure blind for herself on turn 2 if she gets blinded. If not, she's the only one not immune to blind. And again, she's got not negative ice and then 30 dark, so we're good. Ace, same thing. He's going to be doing... wasn't Ace doing anything special? He's just a chainer. It's kind of funny giving him Equip Helm. I've never used Equip Helm before, but apparently, according to the builder, Equip Helm is better. He's actually supposed to be using the Demon Killer Helm. For some reason, I didn't swap that out. There it is. Yeah. The Demon Killer Helm. It's kind of funny. That's his best build. Yoshi Kiryu is going to be... we're not using the base form. Oh, we are using the base form. The base form just has some resist for turn 1, and then we're going to shift. He's actually going to be a DPS on this fight. So he's going to be buffy in turn 1 and 2, and on turn 3 he's going to chain. Now his chains are AoE, so there is a chance that his third cast gets cancelled. Diablos is probably going to be tanky enough to eat all 3 of his casts. You know, we're going to find out in any case. But here's his build. He's got high spirit, decent, high being relative, decent demon killer, and we are using a holy weapon, but that's actually okay because we're using holy team anyway, so that's not a problem. Usually if he's DPSing on a different element, you don't want to use Lena's STMR, but because we're using holy element, it's totally fine, and it's a really high spirit staff. So there's his build. He's got 200 demon killer. I'll actually show you the killers on the, because I think this is going to be the hard fight. 225 demon on Ace. We've got 175 demon on Rem. And then Zahn is here. Zahn has the resistances needed. His gear is not super important. He is wearing safety bit for death immunity. Like I mentioned, the boss does do death. I don't know when. He might not do it on turn 1 or even turn 2, but whenever he does it, we're provoking it with Zahn. Here's our Elena. Base form doesn't really matter too much because she's got the resistances needed and she's blind immune. We're going to charge up on turn 1. And actually, I don't know if this is super relevant, but I'll give her some mana regen just so she has not have mana problems. I'm not sure if she has mana problems or not, but there we go. And then her shift form. Her shift form is going to be the one we're using for damage because we're going to use her 200% killer buff, and we're going to steal that with Zahn. That's only active in the shift form. So we've got her card, lots of demon killer, double hand for the shift form, lots of magic, and she's got 300% demon killer. So I'm really going all in on Elena and hoping she can carry this fight. And then we showed Lauren. Okay. If something goes wrong, I'll edit out the next part and I'll start the video again from here. But let's try it. Alright, let's see. So I got my little list of things I'm doing on each turn. Make this nice and easy so I don't fumble around. Okay, so we're going to Dark Resist on turn 1. Yoshi is going to, because Lauren is not going to be an attacker, we're going to imbue Lauren with Ice. Because that also buffs the team's Ice Resist. And then we're going to Hikikomori, which gives us stop immunity as well. Oh, the boss does stop, too. I forgot to mention that. The boss does stop. Again, I don't know when he does stop. Rem, turn 1 has nothing to do. Ace, turn 1 is just going to get his bolting strike chains powered up. Start unlocking the higher tiers. Elena, on this first turn, is going to Stella Maris, that imperils. We're going to imbue light, and nothing else really matters for this first turn. We'll just imbue light twice. Alright, and Zahn, let's wait for this to finish. Zahn is going to steal the imbue from Elena. Let's see, critical Elena, elemental Elena, and survival Elena, you know, whatever. We're stealing more buffs next turn. Okay, so again, like I said, I didn't look up. Those attacks that he's using, AoE, are elemental. So even if we didn't dodge them, it wouldn't have mattered. They're elemental. Okay, so he didn't imperil us, so it looks like this is going to be a pretty clean clear. Alright, Yoshi is going to Nimpu... Oh, wait, no, not yet. Actually, I don't think I geared Yoshi's shift form in enough resistance. I didn't. So we're going to stay in the base form for one more turn, which is fine. We actually don't need anything from the shift form until the DPS turn. So we're going to go ahead and Nimpu Bunshin. Yeah, let's Nimpu Bunshin. Alright, Rem is going to accelerate. And let's have Lauren do status immunity. Looks like the boss did not blind us yet, which is great. So we'll just twin spell. We'll accelerate to power her up for next turn. And if the boss had blinded on turn 1, I'd use Healing Prayer to cure it. So we'll just go ahead and do that. Ace is going to unlock the next tier of his Bolting Strike frames. Elena is going to shift. And now we're just going to cast her Magnus here, which gives that really big Demon Killer buff. For one turn, though. And then Zahn is going to, let's see, Reflector. We're going to steal the killer buff. Nothing else really matters. We'll just steal killer buff from Yoshi too, whatever. And project it. Okay. And we're going to chain next turn, and we're going to see what the damage does. Okay, there's the focusing power, so next turn he does something bad, but this fight is over. Alright, Lauren at this point is now going to use her Magnus. We'll use Bright Storm Flash, and doesn't really matter, because we're not using her to chain. Okay, boss is broken, let's go. Yoshi's going to shift and do his good chain 3 times. Which might break. I hope it doesn't. Zahn's going to triple Bolting Strike. I'm not going to do Thief. I'm just going to do the regular. Bolting Strike 3 times. Bolting Strike. Not Mug Life. Where's the other bolt? Here it is. Paralyzing Darkness. Alright. Starlight Elena is going to triple Crystal Bright. Now, we didn't do Elena's LB because I didn't spend time powering it up. We didn't have time to cast it, really. Because she was my demon killer source, and that took her turn too. And I don't want to go to turn 4. Okay, fingers crossed, boys. Here's the mage stage. I don't have Kuja, I don't have Aerith, and the boss did not die instantly, so I'm a little concerned here. I don't think I'm going to get a perfect score here. Not without Aerith and Kuja. Nope. Ooh, close too, but nah. Don't have Aerith, don't have Kuja. I'm using Rem and Ace. It's not going to work. No perfect score from me. If I had Kuja and Aerith, that'd be a perfect score. Well, there goes the dreams of a perfect score DV, because I'm pretty sure I can perfect score Ashura tomorrow. Or Monday. But, yeah, I was 500 million short, and that was my best of the best that I have available. I don't have any Kujas. I can't UOC him. I have 0 Aerith. Nothing I can do about that. That's it. That's my cap. So I guess I'll see you guys in 2 days for Ashura, where we will probably get a perfect score on her. Not Diablos. All right. See you next time.